Yours. Hello, everybody. We have just finished the session about admission. We had Connor Koch sharing quite a bit of information and giving instructions how to apply. Our next session would be about Careerspace. So it's with great pleasure that I am welcoming two other presenters to the virtual open house seminar space. The front page of the presentation is with us. And behind this lovely front page, Careerspace Services at Trent University, are two of our next presenters. It is Tim Clayton and Jessica Marlowe. Tim and Jessica, welcome to the studio.
Hi,
Good morning. Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thank you. So Tim Clayton is someone I know better than Jessica because he is located at the Trent Durham campus, which is located in Oshawa. And Jessica Marlowe is located, I believe, in Peterborough at our key campus. Tim Clayton is a veteran in Careerspace Services. His background is in commerce, and then later he pursued master's in education in digital technologies. So he knows a lot how to position your LinkedIn and how to share services about networking, also providing a lot of workshops and even mock interviews. So you'll be learning much about it today. Jessica, I was reading about you, and I understand that you also are liaison with many industry people, and that we're always looking to expand the array of services as well as a new co-op and experiential learning opportunities for students, whether that's practicums, internships, or community service spaces. So welcome to the studio, and please, floor is yours. We have about 30 minutes. Should you wish to complete the presentation a little bit earlier, sometimes we do have question and answers that we can respond to. If there is no time for that, then we are directing people to our regional reps, and we have 6 Zoom room opened for any students, prospective students, to go and speak to our regional representatives. So with that in mind, welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, yes. So as I'm introduced, I'm Tim Clayton. I also work with some of our co-op students here at Durham. So we have 6 co-op programs at the undergraduate level at Trent Durham. So I'm now coordinating those programs. So if you do enter one of the co-op programs, then you'd likely meet me first year as your co-op coordinator. And I'll turn it over to Jess, who's going to kick us off just a bit about Careerspace in general.
I'll just share. So I'm Jess Marla. I'm a student experience coordinator at Careerspace. And as Jasminka had mentioned, I really tried to build that bridge for our students to our local economy, labor market, employers. And so myself and my team will run a lot of the events on campus that bring employers to connect, network, provide employment, placement, internship, co-op opportunities. And I also oversee some of our field placements. And so I can speak a little, I will be speaking a bit about our experiential learning and different ways to be engaged with community, future employers, and that sort of thing. And also our Trent Community Research Center, which I know is on our slides, but also I'm very excited to share because I do find that is something we're doing differently at Trent. So I can start here with our mission here. So at Careerspace, our aim is to provide students and alumni the opportunity to be job ready by offering access to our student experience portal. So that's where we host our student and alumni job board. So students are able to go on there and see different part-time, post-graduation, summer employment opportunities, as well as co-op, volunteer. So there's lots of different variety of options on our job board. We have appointments for career advising and counseling, so they can be in person or online, but an opportunity to connect with our career advisor and our career counselor for the supports students would need to be job ready. We have resume, cover letter prep, mock interviews, and resources available to students. Again, they can be connecting with someone on our team or resources in that students can work through at their own pace. We provide support with career planning, job search strategies, and employment program resources. We have weekly workshops, we have networking events and career expos, which are job fairs where we are hosting one tomorrow, a big one, but that's where we invite employers and organizations that are looking to connect with Trent students for a variety of employment options onto campus. So there's that ability to connect in person. We coordinate co-ops, internships, and field placement opportunities across a variety of disciplines on campus. And we are the hub for community-based research. So that's a program that allows students to engage in impactful research with faculty supervisors and community organizations across Trent departments and programs. So those interested in research, that would be something I'm happy to share with you today. So for career resources, just to share, you'll see on the right what it would look like when you get into, when you're on our website or in our student experience portal, but we have workforce readiness modules. So those are open to all students and alumni, and that's where you can work through a bunch of modules that help you around skills identification and articulation, resumes and cover letters, networking, your LinkedIn profile, job search strategies, workplace communication, and professionalism. So that's something we're happy to share with everyone. And additional resources, our staff have worked heavily on the what can I do with my degree. So for each degree offering at Trent, they've tried to create a bit of a plan and like a taste of what sorts of careers, what sorts of steps and pathways are available to students, or we would, recommend for you to consider as you're starting to plan your career. We have career YouTube videos for that sort of support, tip sheets and equity resources, career assessment tools for those that know what they're interested in, but are not sure exactly what might be the right career profession opportunity for you after graduation. To find out more about our website or about our resources, do visit our Careerspace website where all of this is available for you to explore, see now. And then, as you're a Trent student or alumni, would encourage you to make those appointments for that one-on-one in-person support. So gaining experience at Trent, lots of ways to participate, both through experiential learning and just different offerings that our team and others will support on campus. So, obviously your courses, there's lots of opportunities to gain experience and make connections through your academic courses. Field courses, so that's often where you'll be doing hands-on learning in the field, learning practicing what you're learning in the classroom in a real practical environment. We have labs for certain disciplines. We have our co-op programs, which build in work terms for that experience. Placement programs, as I had mentioned, where you're out working with an organization in community for academic credit around what you're learning in the classroom and in your disciplines. We have the Trent Community-Based Research Center, where we are taking questions from the community for not-for-profits, private sector, government organizations, and having student researchers hosted by a faculty or overseen by a faculty take on those research questions and provide those deliverables back to the community. So really makes a difference, but also gives you that research experience. We have the thesis avenue at Trent too for gaining experience there. So many clubs and associations, lots of different groups on campus. And if there wasn't a club or association that met your needs, the TCSA is always happy to support new clubs and groups. So they're constantly growing. Lots of volunteering options on campus and in the community. Our team hosts a volunteer expo every September. So we bring 50 plus different not-for-profits and organizations in our community on campus that are looking for volunteers and looking to connect with Trent students. We have lots of on-campus positions. So different departments on campus hire either small amounts or very large amounts of students. And so there's lots of opportunities to find employment on campus. And then our study abroad opportunities. So quite a variety of ways to gain experience while at Trent.
Great.
So when we look at the variety of EL opportunities, so we talk about EL, but really it's experiential learning. It's getting in the field, using our hands to apply what we're learning in the classroom. We have cooperative education. So students are completing 3 paid full-time work terms during their degree. It does vary depending on the department or the degree that you are taking. But while you are on a work term, you are working 35 hours a week as a full-time employee, and it is a paid opportunity. For internships, students are engaging in 1 full-time work experience in a professional discipline that's specific to what they are taking. This again is 35 hours a week. It is full-time, and it varies from 4, 6, 8, or 12 months depending on which department they are taking that in. We can move down to field placement. So students are working part-time to support program relevant work. It could be paid or unpaid, it depends. But just knowing that difference, it varies from 5 to 35 hours a week. It just depends on the program. So some programs like maybe nursing would have a lot more of a time commitment versus maybe political studies that has, 1 day a week. So lots of field placement opportunities, and those vary depending on the degree that you are taking and what the department's able to offer as a field placement. We have community-based research, which I had mentioned, where students help to identify issues or opportunities and develop solutions or strategy to industry changes. This can be broken down depending on what the project needs are, what's available in the course, what's built in for your department. But it could vary from 5 to 10 hours a week. It can be full-time during the summer. If anyone is ever interested in community-based research, we just encourage you to connect with our Trent Community Research Center. Those sorts of projects are often taken on in their 3rd and 4th year, but it's really helpful to know about this ahead of time so you can plan it into your degree. We find from a lot of students that after they graduate, they wish they had an opportunity to participate in research because now they've done their undergraduate and they're interested in research, and they might have missed that opportunity at Trent to get engaged. And so if this is something or research is something you're interested in, do consider it for your plans and for your 3rd and 4th year. Before that, we do have community service learning, which we often engage with students in 1st and 2nd year. Community service learning is where students participate in community service for about 1 to 3 hours per week. And this is built into your course. It's for academic credit. We partner with different departments to do this, but it starts to get folks engaged in our community, volunteering and building that into their course as reflection as to what opportunities they saw, what they learned from that discipline and that organization. We also have professional practicums. So in social work, nursing, education, in those regulated environments, students are able to integrate their classroom knowledge with on-the-job training. So this can vary from 7 to 35 hours per week. It just depends on the program. And often you'll be starting in September, January, or May. So in our fall, winter, or summer semesters for those practicums. For graduate programs, we have a professional placement. So that's where students are working full-time on a program relevant work for a 4-month term. This would be 37.5 hours a week and often starts in May for a 4-month term, but that is for our graduate programs. So community-based research, I've mentioned it a few times. I am personally very passionate about this, so I will try to not over talk about it. But really, I do think this is something that Trent is doing differently, and it really builds such a foundation for impact to community and for experience in research for students. But this brings together the knowledge and needs of the community, so our questions are coming to us. They are not dictated by our departments or our programs. They're coming from the community, and they are looking for the expertise of a Trent faculty and student. And so community groups and organizations, they submit research questions to us and proposals to our Trent Community Research Center. Once those project submissions have been reviewed, scoped appropriately, so we want to make sure that you are set up for success and that research program, that research project could be done within 1 semester or in 1 academic year. Then we promote these to students and instructors and encourage Trent students to indicate interest and meet with us and see if this is a good fit for you. So our TCRC staff will work alongside faculty to support students in their work and help guide these projects towards successful outcomes for the local community and students. Often these students will go and present to different boards of directors in our community about the research they found. Most excitingly, last year we had a student who was able to present to the Solicitor General of Ontario about the court system and different therapeutic courts. And so we have really strong partnerships in the community around this, and they are really looking to mobilize that knowledge. And so the research that you do here, they are trying to take that up to higher levels to make change in the system. So anyone who might be social justice oriented, this is really a great option to explore at Trent. Micro-credential and our digital badge. So our workforce readiness module that we had mentioned earlier, it's openly accessible, a 6-module course, providing learners with the opportunity to practice, reflect, and develop strategies they need to get started, refine their process or finishing touches on their job and career search. This micro-credential rewards participant who completes key activities. So we have some learning outcomes here that you would learn from that. Identifying and articulating your skills, creating a resume, receiving feedback from Careerspace, job search, networking in person or online, through all the options we had mentioned, how we engage with community, preparing for a job interview or managing difficult situations in the workplace. So just recognizing that this micro-credential and this badge that you could carry forward in your on your resume and your applications in the future is something that we offer.
That's awesome. Thanks, Jess.
No problem.
Yeah, I'm now going to switch it over to a bit of an overview on our co-op programs. And yeah, feel free to put any questions you may have into chat as we go along as well. So yeah, co-op is essentially a full 12 months of paid work experience over your 4-year degree program. A few of our programs are now actually a 5-year degree, and that's really in the sciences, where it will take basically the first 3 years of studies before you're ready to go out on your first work term. So ultimately, a co-op work term has to be at least 12 weeks, up to 16 weeks, around 420 hours of paid work experience. Students are applying to jobs, so this is a true job search program as well. And the role of the co-op team is really to provide those job opportunities to you and for you to apply for. So we're really involved in the whole process, yeah, from beginning to end to help you get those paid work experiences as well. I think why co-op is so important is because this provides like an excellent way for you to gain work experience. These are often, offering you that opportunity to either work, like fully in person, or even like more, I mean, like a hybrid remote setting. Students are really often quite involved in their job role as well. There's also some often like a cool tax credit that's available for employers. So we try to support our employers for them to take on co-op students as well. Students' wages are often covered by certain programs like that as well. The Trent Work Study program is a big part of that as well. So students who are eligible for programs like that and are also in a co-op program are able to take on both roles as well. There's a variety of undergraduate programs at Trent that have co-op now embedded, with a few new that have just launched this past fall. Things like software engineering are a brand new program at Trent. There's actually probably a couple more that have been added as well that are new, even in the graduate level. But there's now, yeah, around 32 active undergraduate programs. And as I mentioned, each of them follows a pretty standard model, and that we want you to be in your first full 2-year studies before you're ready to go out into the workplace. And I think I did update my slide. Yes, so there is a graduate program, 2 new graduate programs as well, and those have their first work terms available next year for summer for 2026. So it's the Arch Management program as well as the Instrumental Chemical Analysis program as well. And again, with the undergraduate programs, each co-op program for the undergraduate programs follows a pretty same model, but sometimes things like that ability to work for one continuous 8 month or even 12-month position are built in as an option. And that really goes down to what the employers sometimes are seeking around co-op opportunities. So that's something that you learn a bit more about as you're getting into your co-op program. Some sample work areas. A lot of our students in the social sciences have really quite a wide area that they can work in. We see a lot of students approaching areas of things like policy development. Government is a big area as well, but also some cool things like TV and film productions when it comes to media, communications. HR is a big field as well on all areas of policy, which are quite interesting for our students. EDI is a big one as well. In the sciences, a lot of options there as well. Every area around things like data science, AI is a new one as well, where there's a lot of things around the sort of ethical use and best practice of AI. Information systems, of course, quite a wide variety of those, and of course how they now interact with things like AI. And there's also very distinct roles, things like a software developer or web development. And so co-op roles, again, sometimes the students are coming to us with co-op roles that they've found, and that's great. But also, we're also providing those co-op roles for students to consider and apply to. And occasionally there might be even a faculty member that has some sort of research project and an employer partner, and that could also be a co-op opportunity depending on the program as well. So really does span, a lot of industries, a lot of sectors, gives the students quite an opportunity, I think, to find and source an opportunity that really speaks to them and their program. I'm just going to touch a bit about on the student experience, which is also connected to where our co-op portal is as well for jobs. So the student experience portal becomes sort of a main hub that we want all students to be engaged in. It's also where our co-op jobs, as well as all of our full-time and part-time and volunteer experiences are posted. So students have access to this all throughout while they're a Trent student, but also for life. So you can always come back after you graduate as well to job search on the Trent job board. There's a lot of cool features, easy features to navigate when it comes to how you find and filter and search out these jobs. You can just view summer jobs or part-time jobs, full-time jobs. So it's all kind of sortable as well as searchable. And just kind of a sample of what a typical job posting will look like in the system. So it'll tell you, of course, what this opportunity is. It'll give you the job description as well as the skills, knowledge that it needs you to apply for. It will also highlight, and this is important around the eligibility. So we always want students to check like who this job is eligible for. So if it was a co-op job, for example, it would tell you that only a co-op student could apply to that. So all of that requirement is something that we want you to always check carefully as well, and that's built into the system. An extension to our job portal, which I think is pretty cool, is this one that's called Outcome Campus Connect. This is actually a network of other institutions that all are sharing opportunities across our portal. So it's not really about you being a Trent student. It's just the fact that you are, say, a student, or you are about to graduate, or you were a volunteer student, in a particular program. So anytime you see this sort of red symbol, you know it's coming from across that network. There's something like 90 other Canadian institutions that all use this same portal. So it's important for you to look broadly. Sometimes these are opportunities that you may not see on Indeed or on other sort of public job sites because, again, they're trying to source students from undergraduate programs or from a graduate program. So it's very much a university sort of portal for job seekers, which is pretty cool. So I often say to students that you need to you do need to be checking two portals. You need to be checking ours and this one as well. So. Yeah, so one of the things I work a lot with students on is, of course, their application. So when it comes to tools like a resume, their cover letter, interview skills as well. So we've got a lot of tip sheets as well as samples to provide to students to give you an idea of formatting, how to structure your resume. This depends a lot on if you have any existing work experience or maybe this is a complete career 360 for you. You're coming back into the job market. So it's actually that exercise of how you pare down, how you take an experience and really tailor it, yeah, to that job opportunity you're applying to. So this is a lot of the work that I do, in careers is to support students on a one-to-one basis. So providing that direct feedback, that sort of coaching when it comes to the job that they're seeking, and yeah, the best application that you can put forward for that job. So on our website, we've got a lot of this information from a sort of tip sheet, quick resource, but then this is on the right-hand side more of an example of a student's resume that we will work with you on to develop. Yeah, Jess mentioned the what can I do with my degree? These are a great starting point. I think this is often something that if students are just exploring, beginning to ask some broad questions about careers, this might be a starting point for you to have a read. Especially when it comes to skills, it's so important now to really hone in on the skills that you want to put at the top of your resume, that you want to make the direct skill connection to for the job role. So we've developed these sort of pages, handbooks, if you like, that allow you to sort of do that direct connection with the degree program that you're in. And from that degree over that, say, 4-year degree, these are the skills that you're really developing. These are even some sample job titles that are a sort of natural fit for that as well, which I think helps students when it comes to that career search. It begins to allow them to go out there to the job market, put in those job titles, explore a bit further to see how others have actually landed those jobs, what have been their journey towards that career path. So there's a lot you can explore from these kind of 1 or 2 page documents. Yeah, we've got a lot of cool on-campus positions as well. These are also posted through our student experience portal. So that's often programs like our Trent Student Work Experience program. Also, Trent International often hires a lot of students as well to support their work. Just a large variety of both, like part-time as also full-time positions as well. I think it's cool having met students that maybe have never worked before, right? In a sort of professional setting, that gave them sort of that eye-opening experience to figure out what they were really passionate about. And sometimes that often leads on to other careers connected to that first work experience they had on campus as well. I just wanted to briefly touch on a few of the job boards and things that I'm involved in when it comes to supporting students in their job search. So there's a lot of the sort of general job boards, but I think it's important nowadays because there's a lot of data connected to that. Things like Glassdoor is actually a real good information sort of seeking site where you can read a bit about the employer. You can read some of the testimonials, like what's it like to work there? What are people talking about? But just some of the, labor market information that you can gather around a certain employer is a good sort of intel gathering, opportunity before you apply. There's also some early talent career boards. So talenttag.ca is a really great one for students job seeking in Canada. They do a great job, I think, of really, identifying these are roles for like a first-time job seeker. These are co-op roles. These are intern roles. So it's good to kind of see those, like as their own specific category. There's some, industry specific job boards. Charity Village is a big one I'm often looking at for things like the social sciences. It's also great for volunteer opportunities. And things like BioTalent Canada is a cool one in the sort of pharmaceutical space. Any sort of research there in the biotech and, biochem fields. And then we've also got things like the Workforce Development Board, also Durham Workforce Authority that I'm involved with a lot. These are great community sort of labor market intel gathering sites, but they're also job boards, and they're usually job boards that are tied around the community that they're in as well. So take some of the legwork out of having to search broadly when you can see what's already filtered on sort of in the Peterborough, Durham region as well. So yeah, a lot of great sites that we work with, and I know some of the people that are at these sites as well. So it's handy to ask them questions around features and how to get some specific labor market data and that sort of thing. Just wanted to put a last couple slides here, like a push to attend, any networking events. Careerspace, of course, we host several of those expos. Graduate Further Education Expo is always a popular one as well. the career expos that we've just held, as well as the one tomorrow. And then, yeah, January through March, there'll be 3 more expos coming up as well. And of course, Life After Trent events, those are awesome for you to network with some graduates from various programs as well. Lots of other things going on in the community. Things like Chamber of Commerce events are a big, um, yeah, like a really cool option for students to go out and meet some employers face to face to sort of network and, practice some of those networking skills as well. And there's just a lot of, associations that we work with, things like the Canadian Marketing Association is a big one, CMA, and also yeah, some other cool conferences that you might consider as well as a student that you might want to attend. So that kind of brings us to the end of our slide deck. Feel free to connect with us through socials, Instagram, LinkedIn. We're often putting out content there, and you can find lots more through the student experience portal, or just always email us at careers@trentu.ca.
Jessica and Tim, this was a fantastic presentation. I